Welcome back, friends. Today we are going to paint a Love Grows Here heart. The colors you're going to need are green, yellow, white, red, blue, and pink. Same brush as I always use, my medium flat brush, my medium and small round brush. Don't forget to have your rag on hand and a cup of water for washing your brush. So let's get started. I am going to start today off by using my baby brush. So I'm going to draw my heart out. So with my baby brush, I am going to draw my heart, and it's going to be at an angle because my word love is going to go right here along the bottom. So I'm going to start over here at the top right quadrant of my canvas, and I'm going to make a big half heart. Now from this half heart, this is going to be the start of my letter L. So I'm going to make this my letter L. I'm going to cursive my O, V, E, and then it's going to reconnect. So I am going to go ahead and darken all of this up so that it's nice and dark. And then we're going to add a little bit more white to our canvas just to brighten it up. If you do not have a black canvas, your first thing you want to do is paint your canvas black. Now that I have my heart and my love on there, I am going to take my medium flat brush and I'm going to use the smallest amount of white paint ever. So I've got just a very little bit of white paint, but I'm also going to tap it off on my palette so that I have almost less than that. And what I want to do, the reason I want to do that is I want to give like a small glow to my heart, okay? So I'm just tapping around my heart. Very gentle. I'm going to go all the way around my heart. Some areas of my heart, I might make it a little bit higher up. Other areas, I might make it really down low. But I'm going to give just a small glow of little paintbrush dots all the way around the outside of my heart. And while I still have my white paint nice and wet and my canvas is ready, I'm going to zoom you into this bottom right corner because I'm going to write the word grows here. My heart is about love grows here. So let's zoom you in and show you that part. Anytime I paint letters that are somewhat small, I like to lay my canvas flat. I just think it's easier. So with my baby brush, I'm going to write the word grows here, and you can use the paintbrush with this or maybe even like a paint pen to make it a little bit easier. It's your choice. All right, let's zoom us back out and get adding to our wreath. So now that my words are finished, let's get moving on to our flowers. My favorite way to paint roses is with my finger. So if you're gonna paint a rose, you can use a paintbrush if you want, but I love painting roses with my finger. I'm gonna take pink paint on my finger, and it's a lot of pink paint. I'm gonna come right up here and I'm going to make a really big circle. I might need to even grab some more pink paint because I do want this to be my biggest flower on here, kind of way down this top right corner. So this rose is going to probably be about 2 inches wide on my 11 by 14 canvas. Really big rose. Now, after I have that first layer in, I need to decide if I want to add in red or white as my second, and I'm going to go with red. So with my paint finger still dirty, some red paint, I'm going to go right on top of there and swirl in some red. Now I can wash my paint finger off, and then I will get my paintbrush out. So with that paintbrush, I'm going to take white paint, and I'm going to start in the center by making small little curved lines. So I'm just going to start here, and I'm going to make small little curved lines that radiate out from the center. If you get too much red or pink paint on your brush, you can just wipe it off on your rag. I don't mind my colors mixing, but I'm a messy painter and some people prefer their colors being nice and neat. So if you don't mind your colors mixing, that's fine. If you want them wiped off, just wipe it on your brush, no need to wash it. So you're gonna go all the way to the outside edge, continuing with those curved lines until you have yourself your rose. Wash that brush off. I'm gonna add in all of my flowers, and then I'm gonna go back with my greenery. Now, I do like to copycat flowers a couple times. I like things to be in threes. So my choices are, I've got my big rose here. I could put 2 more roses right here, or I could put 2 smaller roses over here or even down here. The placement is completely up to you. I would either clump them together and have 3 together, or I would have 1 big one and like 2 smaller ones. So I think what I'm gonna do is the 1 big one and 2 smaller ones. My smaller ones, I am going to put right over here by the love word. I'm getting more pink paint because whatever paint color you choose for your roses, you're gonna use a lot of. So, finger, paint, my smaller ones are gonna go right here, maybe even falling off the canvas. Ooh, I'm gonna make 1 pink and I'm gonna make 1 red. Which means I'm gonna add red to my pink and pink to my red. Now, since these are smaller flowers, I am gonna use my smaller brush to make my little curved lines. Starting in the center, curve those lines all the way to the outside. Now my roses are finished. So what's going to be my next flower? I am going to make small little white flowers. This is a very dark canvas, and so I want to make sure that I lighten it up, but I love the way the dark plays off of the light. So we're going to make some white flowers, and to do that, I'm going to take my medium flat brush, and with that medium round brush, I am going to use the back side of it, and I'm going to make 5 small dots in a circle. Wipe the back of that brush off and put either a yellow, red, maybe even blue dot in there. So I am going to make a ton of these small little flowers, which are just 5 small dots with a color in the middle. Again, I like to clump things into odd numbers, so whether I do 3 sets here, maybe 5 sets over here, I'm going to make sure that I have them in odd numbers. And I can even change up the size of my dots by getting my bigger brush. I can make bigger dots, or even a Q-tip, or maybe your pinky finger would give you some larger ones. So you're gonna make a whole bunch of these anywhere you wish around your heart, because these are gonna be some backgrounds for our other flowers. All right, let's add some bigger flowers in here. I'm gonna use a really light blue. So I'm gonna take my blue paint, pull a little bit off to my side over here with some white paint, and I am going to make a light blue color for my next set of flowers. I'm gonna use my medium round brush. And I'm gonna do a stamping technique. So when I have my light blue color on here, I'm gonna find a couple places and I'm just gonna set my brush down. Set it down, pick it up. Set it down, pick it up. I'm gonna do this 4 times. Now I'll grab a little bit of dark blue paint on my brush and just put a little smudge in the middle. Same thing with my baby brush. I'm gonna add some smaller flowers with these. With this one though, I'm gonna make sure that I have my light color on my brush. I'm gonna put some of the dark color right on the tip. And wash that brush off. Let's move on to some greenery now. I think I have as many flowers as I want on my wreath, so I'm going to move on to some greenery. I'm going to zoom you into this top right corner so you can see up close how we're going to do the greens, because you can add them wherever you wish. First type of green I'm going to show you actually has a little flower on the end, so I'm going to use my green paint. I'm going to make a couple of little sprigs, and these are just small little lines. Kind of shoot out from behind this rose. And then from that, I'm going to use the same brush, my small little baby brush, and I'm going to set it at the end and just kind of wiggle it around. Set it at the end, wiggle it around. Just want a circle-ish shape on these, and you can do these in yellow, pink, any color you want really. I'm going to take a small dot of yellow on the back of my brush, put it right at the base and kind of pull it up. So at the back of my brush, put it at the base and just kind of pull it up a little bit. And And then with yellow and green on my brush at the same time. So I'm putting some yellow and some green on my brush. I'm gonna make little petals or little leaves on here. Same thing, I'm just gonna set it down and pull it up. Set it down and pull it up. Let's move on to the next type of green. So I'm going to make a darker green. So I'm going to take the green and blue and mix them together. I mean, it's a little tealish green color, but it is a darker green than the last one we used. And I'm going to make little snake-like squiggly lines. And now I'm going to use a lighter green for my leaves. So I'm going to take green and white and mix it together. About 50-50, 50% green, 50% white. And then I am going to add just on the very tip of my brush. And I'm going to set it down and pull it in, set it down, pull it in. And as I get towards the end of my squiggly line, I'm going to make these smaller. Let's zoom you back out and talk about the next steps. So let's make some actual leaves now. Medium round brush and green paint. And your leaves, you can make them any color you want really. Green wise, you can add yellow to it, you can add blue to it. But these are just going to be the football shape. So I like to say, you know, it's like a smiley face and a frowny face that come together. The football shape with a lighter line on top to smooth it in. And then we'll add some detail lines to it in a minute. And you can add as many of these as you want, anywhere you want. I most of the time use this little baby brush, but I also have an even smaller detail brush that is going to be helpful when we add in our lines on our leaves. So I'm gonna go back to that bluish green color that I started with for these skinny little snake lines. And I am going to add in just a couple of lines on my leaves. You know, a center line and maybe one or two veins, just to show a little bit of character on them. With the same baby brush, I'm going to add in a few yellowish green swirls and twirls. So any place that I think there's just a little bit of an opening, I'm going to add in a couple of curly cues. Just a couple steps left, friends. I'm going to take the back of my medium brush and I'm just going to add a couple of little white dots. I love polka dots. I think they add so much, even if they're just randomly placed to look like little bits of baby's breath on the outside of the wreath. And last but not least, I am going to rewrite my letter L because I do want that to show through. And I can have it look like those are coming in right behind it. So I hope you enjoyed your Love Grows Here tutorial. Don't forget that when you're finished to sign your name in a color that will show up. Be sure that you take a picture of your Love Grows Here wreath and send it to us on our Facebook page, Painting with a Purpose. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can see all of our latest videos. And as always, remember, stay creative, stay kind, and stay safe. Have a great day, friends.